All right, we're gonna do the old-fashioned way because I forgot my tablet upstairs. So we're gonna really quickly do this right now. So basically we get law of sign, and then we're trying to prove this, and I have to give this identity, which we can show that is true. Actually, isn't that the same thing as just how do I really need to prove this? Fuck. Okay, I need to. I have an idea then. I have an idea. Yes. So instead of doing it this way, it's kind of obvious that. So let me give you a separate set of identities that are more closely related. So it doesn't look like so it's a little bit more thinking, but still debatable if it's thinking or not. And then you could say it's yeah, we'll just say this. We'll just, do it this way. So we're gonna do plus, I think it's plus, no, plus minus, if I remember correctly. So it's like this, and if I remember correctly, it is, fuck, it is flipping the cosine to sine and cosine. And you can prove this in calculus. No, not calculus, trig. Later on, I'm not doing that. Um, but let me just and then this allows me to say over here. Uh, I was just gonna copy and paste this, but I realized you kind of need to do uh more to this before I can actually say that, which no duh. Because earlier, what I was doing is basically giving a reciprocal question because it's kind of obvious that this is true. Instead, we're doing something that takes a little bit of more brain work. You see that you see that cosine and sine, right? We know that generally it's a general fact. Oh, wait, first of all, the two drops out, obviously. But it's a general fact that cot is equal to cosine parentheses x, if this is x, and this is sine version, uh because I it's x over y basically. And then with that said, we can see a cosine and sine over here, so we can change this to um cot parentheses, because there is a plus over here, we could just do this, and a tan, which is sine over cosine. We could just change it over here. I thought for a second we didn't have to do this, so but then I realized the question becomes strictly super easy and super simplified, and I couldn't have that because then it would look like a chump change question. Like, why would you even do this question if you're not gonna do some analysis on it? Uh, so here we have something that, is a little bit more involved, gets you somewhere, gets you from A to B, pushes out a little bit. Um, Interesting enough, you can also put a circle here and do a 2r radius, and you can make a argument that A divided by sine A would be 2r. But that's neither here or there. That's something different. It basically says all circles can fit in a circle, if you draw it right, and you can make a radius out of it. It's kind of cool. You can try it out. Um, any triangle, sorry, if you can draw a circle. There's 3 points, and you can get the radius out of the law of cosine, law of sine, according to what I remember. But yeah, let me just double check that this is correct. X plus x minus y, I think, right? If I'm wrong, I have to redo all this stuff and I have to recheck it. So, oh, you know what? The easiest way to check if this is correct, it's not this. I mean, we could check like this, can it? No, no, no. What the hell is this bullshit? Okay, equal one. and then equal 1. There we go. 2, 2, 4, 4. Okay, they're the same. Okay, so I just check different so you can think of this if this was a two sine or two different signals up here over here and this has some kind of amplitude and then you divide it. It's kind of getting the non-dimensionalizing aspect of it. I can see something like this becoming non-dimensionalized somehow. But yeah, I'm not saying it like that, but there's no way that's happening. No, that's stupid. Anyways. Yeah, I did that proof. I should have done that earlier. I didn't know why I didn't do that. No, because I already gave given these identities. It's given, which means that the question gives you it before anything else. And then you can do the rest of the question. Then, if I give you those identities, you can solve the rest. Should be it. And if you're wondering how you do my problems, basically cover up this part with a paper and you only have this section and you do it. You try it. You try to get it. That's how you do the proof question. If you want to practice on your own, um, sometimes you just that's the intended design of my uh my document. But some of them you can't really do it, like law of cosine, law of sine. Like you're not gonna find that. I mean, you can get it intuitively, but you don't know when you think of law of science, it's like a definition that someone created from a formula. So you can accidentally stumble across it, but you won't be able to like definitively say that's law of sine until you hear other people created it and then they named it law of sine. So it's kind of different on these end, but for this one, prove this. We already given this thing and given these identities, you should be able to do this question effectively because it's literally, at the end of the day, just realizing tangent and cotangent. Basically, the whole entire question is, do you know what the cotangent is and tangent is?